Any SPS, you have to be prepared for crashes. He is the king of the tank. Nobody messes with him. Today, I'm going to show you the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the hills and the valleys of the reef tank. The algae issues I'm having, mainly the algae issues I'm having. The positives about the macroalgae, the corals, the way they're looking. The psychology behind staying positive with reef keeping. The patience you need that I have going on with my fish. You know, it's not all roses. Let me take you through each part. One thing that's really cool is when you find things you've never seen before. Whether you know about them or not, you don't always have them in your tank. Look what I found in the macroalgae refugium. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about algae is, guys, you can have zero nitrate and whatever, zero phosphate, and still have an algae problem. I've said this before in my other videos. Nitrate and phosphate are always available in the water. It's just they're being consumed before you measure it. So when you measure it, you're measuring zero nitrate, but your algae is consuming it to keep it at zero. All right, so let's hit the bubble algae that's appearing in my tank. Right there, right here, and right here, along with a little of the hair algae, here, here, and here. Now, those I'll go in with my hand. You know, I haven't had bubble algae. This structure here was in the 6-gallon, and it never had bubble algae. So because I brought it in here and some of the other rocks may have had it, it's growing on this. So bubble algae, if you're new to it, you know it's a real pain. If these break, they'll spread, so I'll go in there and try to take them off. Sometimes you can let them go if they're not going to explode in growth, but my guess is that they will explode, so I'll probably try to take them off. If you have hair algae, even with zero nitrates and phosphate, it's not going to disappear just by water quality and hermit crabs and snails alone. I have some hair algae on the base of the Kenya tree. I haven't messed with that too much. I did wipe some off the edge there. So this is the mushroom tank, looking good, low lighting. It's kind of cool looking. So far so good with algae on this. I don't see any bubble algae on this, but now this is kind of a relatively new tank, so we'll have to see. You have to get in there with your hand on a regular basis and pull it out. A few days ago, you should have seen the algae growing here. I'll show you here. Now, you're not going to find any animal that's going to remove this completely. It's already coming back. I cleaned this tank Sunday, that's almost a week ago, and it's starting to come back. And I've had a serious bubble algae issue in here. I actually had to remove and take out my pipe organ because it was growing in between the individual pipes, so to speak, and it was just creating a disaster. So algae is always going to be there. Guys, don't forget to leave your comments and questions. I welcome them. I respond to every question, every comment. Keeps me going. I'm up to 200 videos, guys. 2 years and over 2 years and 200 videos. Approaching 200, I think. So a few videos ago, I had this algae growth all over. It looked like the beginning stages of light hair algae. So you can see it's going away, and you know what I did? I added a few more hermit crabs. They climb up and they love it and they eat it. They bury themselves inside here. And they're doing a job on that stuff that was growing on it. I got a little bit more of this from Fish Guy Mike. I found it's better to start with small little pieces of macroalgae and let them grow. So now I just put a small piece and it's starting to attach and do well. That hermit crab cracks me up with that algae growing off its shell. Every time I see it in there walking around, it looks like it's growing hair. Hermit crabs are invaluable. They really can do a job on fine filamentous algae. They won't take out the real rough stuff, but they'll take this stuff out. Today's a great day to show you my cabbage leather. My yellow cabbage leather is looking really good. Here's the leather coral I was mentioning. It just looks really good right now. Good color. It's nice and open. I think this is maximum growth, guys. It's been this way for probably a year or more now. I don't think it's going to grow any larger. Some days it's all shriveled up and not looking good. Some days it isn't. Sometimes it'll shrivel up for days and you know it'll get that waxy substance on it and not come back for a week or more. But today it's looking really good. I got the long polyped leather coral going through a little bacterial. Here's the bacteria fungus that causes the leather to close up. And it'll close up for a few days, maybe more, and that's what happens. This can really look beautiful when it's open. My yellow Fiji leather is dropping off babies, if you want to call them that. I have one that's attached and one that's hanging on. It's ready to go, so it's reproducing. You can see it here on the left side. It's actually, there's two being dropped off. One is a little larger than the other. They're kind of in a horseshoe shape. And then one you can't see from here is already attached on the right side. And I also have some aptasia I see setting in a couple spots. If you're keeping any SPS, you have to be prepared for crashes. I had the two Montipora digitata up there, and when I put the macroalgae in, something went wrong with the water chemistry, or I had to take it out except the nub, and in the back also. Now you can see it's making a comeback. I had to break off the sections that were completely RTN'd. It RTN'd on me and I have no idea why, but these are starting to make a comeback. My fish are looking super healthy. However, I noticed one blue-green chromis is missing. This has been about 2 weeks ago now. And my orchid dodie back has been missing for weeks. So my guess is the royal grama totally destroyed the dodie back. And obviously the blue-green chromis is missing because it was probably getting beat up. It's probably on the bottom chain of the group in there, and it just the yellow tang is now the king of the tank. Everybody's afraid of him, but he's beautiful. He really is. And I gotta give kudos to Biota. That came from Biota Marine. He was like really white when I got him. I feed him nori, soaked in Celcon. He's really yellowed up nice. I know I'm a little long-winded today, but it's just the way it's going to be.